Hey there, welcome back to Lima Bean Living. In today's video, I thought I would bring you along as I just try to get it all done. Juan took Aubrey to go see our new build today and just bring her to the park so that I could have a little bit of quiet time around here to get the things on my to-do list done. First and foremost, I had a little kind of cookies and cream shake thing that I picked up on the way home from church this morning, and I felt like it needed a little bit more coffee flavor to it. It just wasn't what I was expecting. So the first thing I did today was add some Javi coffee concentrate to my little smoothie to make that extra, coffee flavor kind of more apparent in my drink. I did do a Javi coffee concentrate review video a while ago, so I will link that up above. I also have an affiliate link, so if you guys are interested in trying that out for yourself, I will put that link down below in the description box. And they've actually come out with some new flavors and sent me a caramel flavored one. So I will make sure to give you guys a little update on how that compares to the original flavor. But since I have my little coffee drink, we are gonna head upstairs to Aubrey's room and I'm gonna tidy up her space. She has a lot of toys in there and books, and it's just kind of very cluttered. And so I might try to take some things out of there and reorganize and re-simplify that space, especially since, in the coming months, she's gonna be probably getting more toys and more books, and we will be moving. And so it's just gonna be very hectic, and I'd like to calm that space down a little bit. So let's head on up there, and then I'll let you know what else I have to get done. So this is what I'm gonna be working with. I think Aubrey uses this little pail in her socks, and she pretends to bake cakes when she wakes up. I think that's what that is. But then we get over here and we have all of the toys, her little water if she gets thirsty while we're not available at night, toys and books, and they're all over the place. There's books up here, and then her little bed is actually pretty clean. And then we also have some of my old stuffed animals and her stuffed animals. This used to be my room when I was younger. We have storage stuff from when we first got here. I don't think I'll be touching that, but I might be adding to that and just kind of packing it away. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Let's get organizing.
Feelings. It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah.
So as I'm going through the little, storage setup I have here, I think it's worth mentioning that I actually store Aubrey's shirts or tops and then her bottoms in two separate baskets. It really eliminates needing to fold anything. I just kind of throw everything in there, and then she can go in and she can just pick out one item from each little basket, and it makes laundry a whole lot easier. I still really love my little shoe rack idea that I used in the past and I've shared in the past, and I will definitely incorporate that with Jack's stuff, but these baskets for now really work out well with Aubrey.
Every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh.
After separating her toy cars and other non-vehicle toys, I decided to pack up the clothes that don't fit Aubrey anymore, along with some of the books that she really isn't crazy about right now. When we move into our new home, hopefully these books will feel new again and she will want to read them more often.
Magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you.
As I was organizing Aubrey's room, I also came across some of the items that we will be needing for Jack. So stay tuned for a not so glamorous nest with me video, since we will be still at my parents' house for about a month after he is born.
Before, running off with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score.
And the last thing that I needed to do in her room was relocate some of the toys that didn't have a place there. So I brought those downstairs and put them in their, homes.
Higher, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher.
So next up, we are going to give our green waste bucket a heightened look by wrapping this mocha powder can using some wood grain contact paper that I have from the Dollar Tree. This was a scrap from my last organizational video that I will link above. If you don't have the means of buying a special or cute green waste container, this is a cheap and effective option. In the past, we've used coffee containers and really just kind of use them as long as they last. We line them with little plastic bags to collect the green waste, but eventually they do get a little gross inside, and so we had an old one and then it went a little gross, and so that's why I'm making this new one here. Before I get to the main item on my to-do list, or the most time-consuming, I decided to set up this toy car that JoyArc sent us. I'd like to thank JoyArc for sponsoring this portion of today's video. As you all know, Aubrey loves cars, and so does Juan. Playing with remote control cars is a great way that Aubrey bonds with her daddy. In the box, you get the car, chargeable batteries for the car and their USB charger, batteries for the remote, a little screwdriver, and the remote itself. This was really easy to set up and was fun to use. One of the toggles on the remote control moves the car forwards and backwards, and the other toggle turns the car right or left. On this day, I was really glad that I set up this toy when I did, because Aubrey resisted her daily nap and needed to be entertained, so I could move on to my other tasks. So her and Juan went down to the park to play with her new toy, and Juan caught this footage while I continued to work. I will put the product's Amazon link down below in the description box if you want to find out more information on how to get one of these for yourself or your kiddos. Again, I'd like to thank JoyArc for sponsoring this portion of today's video and for providing Aubrey with lots of fun this afternoon. So while Aubrey and Juan were still playing together, I started on my main task of the day, baking the elements of Juan's birthday cake. I began by writing down how much of the ingredients I was going to need by referring to one of my previous videos. This is one of the reasons I really like documenting my baking, because I don't have to dig up my recipe book.
To the light. Every time I try to breathe, the moon will rise and carry me. For I've loved and I have died. So I won't hold back, and you should know that was never gone.
Like last year, Juan wanted an American flag birthday cake that we will be enjoying on Thanksgiving. But unlike last year, he wants this one to be rectangular. So my plan is to make 2 9x13 vanilla cakes, fill them with strawberries and syrup, and coat both layers with vanilla buttercream frosting. I won't be decorating the cake on this day, but when I do, I plan on making the stripes with some fresh strawberries, and for the stars, a little rectangular portion of fresh blueberries. I have made these recipes many times before on this channel, so I will make sure to list the ingredients and instructions down below in the description box. For reference, on this day I decided to triple the cake recipe and double the frosting recipe. After buttering and flouring the cake pans, I distributed the batter evenly and threw these guys in a 350-degree oven. The cakes ended up baking for somewhere between 50 to 55 minutes, and during that time I decided to prep the strawberries that will go in between the two cake layers by just slicing them up, and then later I'm going to be sprinkling on some sugar, and letting these guys sit together will create a really nice syrup. This syrup will moisten the cake when I assemble it and just add a bunch of delicious flavor.
Until the dawn breaks, no, till it's all said and done, you won't know what it takes. Gotta make a wrong turn and turn around. Gotta fall fast to pick yourself up off the ground. Until you get lost, you'll never be found, and you can't start again until you break down. They said, be meek, look beneath the bed before you go to sleep. Keep on, I shine. You'll surely get burned if you reach out and touch. My mind is a
I also prepped the buttercream ingredients and mixing appliances by washing them out and everything, but I wasn't going to start my buttercream until we got back from dinner because by this point I was ready for my cakes to get out and we were all hungry, and so I just figured get as much done as I can while the cakes are still in the oven, and as soon as they're out, we're out of here. When we got back, I decided to make my vanilla buttercream, and again, I've shared this recipe plenty of times. One of the big secrets, it's not really a secret, but you've got to whip your butter for 5 minutes at least. It goes from yellow and thick to white and really fluffy, and it's the best technique, I think, in getting a good American buttercream. My frosting did come out a little bit runny, and that was okay. It was probably just too hot in my kitchen, but I wasn't going to be assembling the cake then anyways, so I just threw it in the fridge, and I'm planning on taking it out, getting it down to more room temperature, and then beating it up again and whipping it, and it should be totally fine when I'm ready to decorate. After making the frosting, I had a lot of extra heavy whipping cream left over, and I didn't want it to go bad. I really didn't have a plan for it in the coming week or so. So I decided to make homemade butter. And I've done this before, not on the channel, but it is really fun to do. And it's kind of a fun experience for your kiddos if they're into baking or just kind of like to see the science of things. All you really need is a heavy whipping cream and a really good whisk or beater or whatever. And you whisk this until it turns into butter. So I started whisking, turns into whipped cream, and it's this doesn't look like it's going to be butter anytime soon. Keep whipping, and eventually it'll start to kind of turn a little bit more yellow, look like it's going to start to curdle, and then eventually you'll see the solids separate from the liquids, and then you'll have your butter and your buttermilk. Now, I didn't save my buttermilk. You can, but I didn't really have a plan to use buttermilk in any recipe that's coming up, so I just kind of dumped mine in the sink, and you rinse your butter off in cold water until the water turns clear.
I think that I am moving on 'cause I do feel less broken. I needed a sign.
Then I decided to store my homemade butter in my squeeze container. I've shared this product in a previous video and I really love it. It keeps the butter room temperature and nice and smooth and spreadable. So I will link that video up above. But once I was done with my butter, I just had to wrap up the evening by wrapping up my cakes in some plastic wrap. And I stored them in the freezer. Freezing the cakes does make it a little bit easier for the assembly day, and I don't know, I prefer making the cakes in advance and then freezing them, taking them out like an hour or two before decorating, and things just kind of go a lot smoother that way.
This maze that I'm running through now when I think of you. I'm fine, see a picture of you would eat me alive.
When these cakes were all done, I decided to head to my recliner and get my feet up and do some editing, because it's hard for me to find the time to like really edit videos now, and I really needed to rest my feet, so it was the perfect time to like do both of those things at once. I'd like to thank you guys for watching today's video and supporting my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new here, please subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around and check out all of my motherhood content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Woohoo! You've made it to the end of the video. If you didn't know already, every Monday and Friday, you can find motherhood and lifestyle content on this channel. And since us moms have to do it all, that may mean yummy recipes, easy DIYs, mom hacks, cleaning and organization, or just a combo of everything. Please know that you are loved and you are made for greatness, and I will catch you in the next one.